Aaron, Quinn Ewers returns to action last week and now reportedly maybe returning to Texas next year. And when you look at the entire quarterback class next season, there could be a pretty unreal QB class coming back.
Yeah. It could be loaded. I think we have the graphic ready to go just in the SEC alone of what quarterbacks come back next year. You're looking at obviously Texas, for those who have been living on the rock. Texas and Oklahoma join the SEC next year. Quinn Ewers, Carson Beck, Jalen, Milroe, Brady Cook at Missouri. KJ, I believe, has a COVID year.
There's no way KJ Jefferson has another year.
He does have another year. Jackson Dart, Nico, and then T-Bob Hebert quarterback Graham Mertz there at Florida. So you go from having one of the worst years of quarterback play to three of those guys will probably be three of the top 5 guys projected odds to win the Heisman next year.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that really that good of a group? We're putting Iamaleava in there. We're putting Graham Mertz in there. Like, I feel
I think the top three will all be 3 of the top 5 Heisman guys. Quinn,
I think
Jalen.
Yes. I think also the story here is that maybe in the past, guys like Quinn and Carson would not have come back, but it's got to feel really good to be the leader of a great program nowadays. You enjoy school, you enjoy your teammates, you enjoy whatever, and you're making just piles of money on top of it.
Yeah.
Like just piles of money. And so all of a sudden you can maybe say, you know what, the NFL can wait a little bit. I can get better. I can get more mature. I can get older. I can have even more success. Like if you're Carson Beck, maybe you make yourself into the number 1 overall pick. Maybe you want to try to win 2 natties. Like, again, there's something to be said for being happy. And in the past, even if you were happy in college, you still needed to make money. And so a lot of times that pushed you out the door. Now these guys are making millions. And that's not exaggeration.
Yeah.
With the biggest names on that list. I mean, they're making over $1 million a year. Do you think Beck's making 2? I heard Bo Nix is making multiple millions a year right now.
I wouldn't doubt it. I think all those guys are definitely in the 7 figures. I don't know if it's up to 2. I would say this about the Georgia quarterback situation. There is most likely some discussions going on with powerful people in the state of Georgia to put together a hefty package to keep him next year. I like the other quarterbacks, but Carson he's a first round talent. There will be a drop off from Carson to who's next. And I don't think if Georgia wants to keep the train going, they need those guys another year to develop, and they also need that 5-star quarterback to get a year under his belt. I think Carson needs to stay next year if Georgia wants a chance for another championship in 2024.
Ox in the shop says, if Beck comes back, who do we lose to transfer? I wouldn't even worry about it, Ox.
No,
we have to let go of guys transferring. It is what it is. Remember we dove deep on this last season of Snaps, Aaron, where we the Athletic did really great work on this. And I think they proved that, like, if you get a 5-star quarterback, there's like a less than 50% chance that they end up staying at the school. Mm-hmm. So even if they play early. So it just is what it is. Well, like,
speaking of 5-star quarterbacks,
when you have a great starter about Beck, don't fall in love with the guy that you don't know if he's good or not. You saw this at LSU with Garrett Nussmeier, Jaden Daniels this year.
Yep.
A ton of people were pissed when Jaden Daniels came back because they were ready to see Garrett Nussmeier and look at what happened, right? Mm-hmm. And it reminds me of the old Family Guy skit where they go to like the presentation and they tell Peter, okay, dude, you can choose the boat or you can choose the mystery box. And Peter he's like, well, I mean, look, a boat's a boat, but the mystery box could be anything. It could even be a boat. It's like, hello, you already have a great quarterback. I don't give a fuck if Vandergriff or whoever else wants to transfer out. Yeah, like, who cares? Let him go. Yeah. You already have the great guy. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and you have another 5-star commit. Speaking of now that we started this whole conversation, Ewers does come back. Texas has 2 talented quarterbacks behind him, including a Manning. Does Manning stay? I think that's the question Texas fans are going to want to figure out.
I mean, we just said it, right? You can't fall in love with these 5-star guys not wanting to say. It feels like he's not taking NIL money, but I don't know, man. He's probably loving life at Texas. Mm-hmm. People are winning. He's the BMOC.
I could see him leaving. I could see him leaving,
banging each other.
If he doesn't, because you never worry about who's in front of you when it comes to age-wise. You always worry about those that are in your class or those below you, because if those guys are starting, or you're done, you're not going to play. Yeah, Malik Murphy, also a freshman. He has been the number 2 guy. if I would say the biggest thing for Manning is if you can't take over that number 2 spot by the end of spring, then I think you may hit the portal.
Well, look, I just want to point this out to Arch. Okay. Jaden Daniels is gone next year. Okay. I'm just like, I don't know. You do what you will, but LSU looking like they may have 2 quarterback Heisman winners in the past 5 years. What's the common thread, Aaron? Both transfers. Okay. Look, you're
off Garrett. You're off Garrett already?
No. So I have a firm belief, and Carson Beck to me is the exception, not the rule. I have a firm, like, unless you 1,000% believe your guy's gonna be a fucking dog, I think you owe it to yourself to bring in a transfer quarterback. And I think Jackson Dart is the prime example of that. Lane Kiffin was out on Dart. He wanted to, he tried to get Spencer Sanders. He tried to get Walker Howard, and all it did was make Dart better and made him work harder. And look at how much he's grown. So look, this ain't charity. Nobody gets handed PT. You have to earn it. Everybody has to compete. I love you. I think you're going to be great in us. And if you are going to be great, you can beat out whoever they bring in. You know what I'm saying?
You have an advantage. You know the offense. So
I think you're due. Yeah. Like look at like Tyler Buckner transferred to Alabama. He didn't beat out Milroe. So no, I think you are almost doing a disservice, or you're just taking a big risk, a big bet. Like Georgia bet big on Beck.
Yeah.
That was alliterative. And it paid off. And maybe LSU will bet on us, and I'll trust the coaches to bet on whoever they want. But all I'm saying is 90% of the time, I think you just don't even question it. You just bring in at least one transfer to just even out the
quarterbacks it's a carousel. You accumulate as much as you can because you know you're going to continue to lose them because it's the only position that there's only one on the field besides kicker and punter. There's only one quarterback on the field. You can't rotate guys to keep them happy. So guys are going to come in, they're going to leave. They're going to come in, they're going to leave. They're going to commit.
And that's fine. It's great. It's actually made college football better. It makes college football better because all of a sudden teams are better because they're not dead in the water because they screwed up a class or two. And there's not good quarterbacks that could be leading other teams to win who instead are just buried behind a better quarterback, right? Like, no, it's great for the sport, but we have to adjust how we expect these guys and treat these guys. So Quinn Ewers coming back is great. Like, again, people can hate on NIL or feel frustrated about it. This is a good benefit. I like college football players staying in college and get even more badass and lead to more badass product.
I think that's the best thing you've said in a long time.
Wow. No, I like linemen who stay in college and get more badass.
Nothing to do with O-line, but just like we do bitch and moan about NIL and it's unfair or this or that. But
I do not. I want to be painfully clear.
No, I'm not saying that you
give a fuck. Make all the
other
money.
People do.
Okay, yes.
I don't need to. But this is the benefit. You get better players staying longer in college football. Without NIL, Ewers and Carson 100% would be going to the NFL. 100% would go to the NFL.
Well, that is interesting. I don't think I realized that Jalen Milroe is just a sophomore. First PE says competition is the best thing for quarterbacks. It's the best thing for everybody. That's just how anything works. And it ain't just football. In life, what drives you to work harder, to do better if you're in direct competition with someone? Is it a little stressful? Absolutely. But stress is how you reach your best results. Yep. You gotta feel pushed, right? All right. Let's but you are right, Aaron, in pointing out that with Quinn Ewers returning next year and potentially Carson Beck, it sounds like even maybe the SEC talent's going to be really, really good, especially with those big three. You're throwing Cook in the big three? Or no, Milroe. Let's go to big four. I'll throw Brady Cook in the big three. No?
And Brady Cook's the other one, too, that they didn't want him back. Like I had the first game, and they were bitching and moaning that Sam Horn wasn't the starting quarterback, and now look at the season that Brady Cook has put together. I mean, it's heading into the season next year will be a lot more excitement around SEC quarterbacks than they were this previous year. 100%.
You know what? You know it's crazy.
Plus, Oklahoma's that 5-star quarterback they're all giddy about. We'll see if he can not be like the Penn State situation we're going through right now.
Okay, so Cody Schrader is a senior. I was hoping Cody Schrader could come back. Maybe he still can because that man would get paid in Mizzou right now.
You think Mizzou got pockets like that?
Well, yeah, dude. Mizzou, you got to understand, Mizzou, we talked about this the other day. Mizzou has an entire state's economy behind it. This is they are like LSU in that they have the whole state and they both have kind of shitty state economies, but there's still no competition. That's again where Georgia's like the Japanese, they're like everyone else, only more so. They have the most talent-rich state per capita. They have no Power 5 competition, and
you forget for Missouri, they have Luther Burden back next year too. He's only a sophomore. Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't forget.
Yeah.
No, I'm just no. I was more just thinking about what a story for Cody Schrader to be a DQ walk-on guy and then get like paid like a few $100K. That's fucking awesome.